What is going on, everyone? Nostalgia 925 coming at you with another Digimon conversation. I would have to warn you that this one is going to be quite special. I know I did sound a bit mysterious with my two last posts in the Nostalgia 925 community page. In this particular video, you will come to understand why I behave that way. In the previous Explaining Digimon episode, we discussed Coronamon, a Digimon whose mega level belongs to the Olympus 12. And Ol Wazakashi wrote the following in the Nostalgia 925 community page. If you do that Digimon, meaning Coronamon, you may have to also eventually do one on Lunamon as well, especially given how they are essentially the opposites of each other to a degree. Well, Ol Wazakashi, I will do exactly as you asked and talk about it now. I will have to ask you all to really pay attention to this video because at some given point it is going to get absurd. Lunamon is a mammal Digimon with an appearance resembling a rabbit. It was born from the fusion of moon watching data. Coronamon, as we discussed in the previous video, is born from sun watching data instead of the moon watching data as Lunamon. And that is why I really appreciate what Undead Berserker wrote in the Nostalgia 925 community page. The YouTuber wrote the following. Coronamon is a representation of the sun while Lunamon is for the moon. Yes indeed. It also explains Lunamon's name. A name that can mean two things. It can be a reference towards the moon, which is an astronomical body that orbits planet Earth and is Earth's only permanent natural satellite. It can also be a reference towards the goddess Luna in the ancient Roman religion and myth, a divine embodiment of the moon, often presented as the female complement of the sun. When looking at the body of Lunamon, you will find many half-moon markings, and along with its name, these are clear references to the moon. With its large ears, it is able to recognize sounds from any distance. This is in fact a very interesting capability. We have already discussed a great many quantity of Digimon. Each of them have more than enough attributes to make them threatening. We all know that it is a world which abide by the rule of survival of the fittest. Hearing your enemies approaching from a distance will only give you more chance to survive, as you would be able to take action before the enemy is even aware that they are walking towards your direction. Nightmare Eevee wrote the following about Lunamon in the Nostalgia 925 community page. Unhelpful post, I must hug it. Well, it isn't an unhelpful post at all, as I'm using it right now. Lunamon may be timid, but it easily develops attachment and cannot stand being alone, so I am sure that Lunamon would also want to hug you. The Digimon belongs to the Deep Savers family. Members of this field are generally aquatic or polar Digimon, or those who dwell in marine areas. It also belongs to the Nature Spirits family. Members of this field are generic animal or monster-like Digimon, or those who dwell in desert-like areas, which is certainly a habitat where certain species of rabbits can survive. What shocked me is that Lunamon also belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family. Members of this field are generally demonic or undead Digimon, or those who dwell in haunted areas. When Lunamon digivolves, it becomes Lekismon, a Beastman Digimon. The Digimon has astounding jumping power that toys with its foes using nimble movement. It has a somewhat mystical appearance. It wears gloves that are called moon gloves, and with them it can put enemies to sleep with hypnotizing foam. Not necessarily an offensive attack to exterminate the enemy, but a good move to at least plan your escape. The Digimon world is all about survival. Any means to assure one's survival is welcome. But let me tell you this, Lekismon does have means to take down its foes. It can draw a beautiful ice arrow from its back and fire it. It isn't really surprising that it can use ice, as the Digimon also belongs to the Deep Savers family like its rookie form. The ultimate form is called Cressmon, a Demon Man Digimon with a name referring to the crescent moon, a lunar phase waxing until 7 days after or waning since 7 days before the new moon. Cressmon has a flexible body. It allows it to perform nimble movement as it attacks its enemies. It entrances the enemy with its dance-like steps after finding an opening. It slashes with the weapons Nova Luna that it wields on both hands. Zero Kura wrote the following in the Nostalgia 925 community page. Because of the scythe the ultimate has, it makes me think of one of my favorite mega in Digimon World 3, Kyukimon. Well, I can certainly understand the similarities you see. They do look alike in certain aspects. However, Kyukimon is an ultimate Digimon, not a mega. Cressmon can fire ice arrows like its champion form, but can also fire an arrow made from dark energy. It does make sense as the Digimon still belongs to the Nightmare Soldiers family. Cressmon excels in battling elegantly, and its power is said to double when it is exposed to moonlight. meaning that every Digimon would be at a certain disadvantage at the moment they fight against it at night. The Mega level form of Cressmon is Dianamon, a Godman Digimon, member of the Olympus 12, a group of 12 Mega level Shaman Digimon modeled after the Roman version of the 12 Olympians. The group managed the digital world Iliad, which exists on a different server from the digital world ruled by Yggdrasil, where you have the Royal Knights. The fact that we can already speak of two different servers, this would mean that it is very likely that these separate dimensions have their own historical background and sets of circumstances which has led them to evolve differently. That is why it will be important to discuss those different universes to better understand the different developments. We also briefly mentioned the wizard dimension called Witchelny. All of these dimensions will need to be discussed. Dianamon is a reference to Diana, the Roman goddess of the moon, and that goddess is equated with the Greek goddess Artemis. It is a Digimon that presides over water and ice and is able to fight even when the surroundings are below absolute zero. And absolute zero is the coldest possible temperature. And here's a fun fact, the Big Bang, the creation of the universe, was said to be at absolute zero. I believe that this does say much about Dianamon, as not many Digimon are capable of fighting at such temperature. In the Gomamon video, I discussed its mega form called Vikimon. It has a dangerous attack called Arctic Blizzard, where it momentarily brings the surrounding atmosphere to absolute zero, flash freezing the opponent. Clearly, many Digimon would be fatally affected by it. Dianamon would still be able to fight through. And just as the moon that has two sides, a light and a dark one, the personality of Dianamon is also of a two-sided nature. It is a beautiful, elegant Digimon, but that only conceals its terrifying power. Ultra Lucario 91 wrote the following in the Nostalgia 95 community page. Appollomon can DNA digivolve with Dianamon. Grace Novamon is the fusion of Apollomon and Dianamon. The Digimon is not classified as a Godman Digimon. It is classified as a Galaxy Digimon, displaying powers surpassing teams of gods. Its name is a reference towards the supernova, the explosion of a star, the largest explosion that takes place in space. Grace Novamon does not belong to any family, may it be Nature Spirit or Virus Busters. No, it does not belong to any family and is an entity that is beyond comprehension. This Digimon came to be because of an unprecedented crisis that loomed over in the digital world Iliad. It tells that in the past, in that separate digital world, big battles were fought. However, we don't know yet what exactly happened and what kind of crisis it was that caused Grace Novamon to manifest itself. By colliding the opposing energies of the sun and the moon together, with Dianamon and Apollomon fusing, Big Bang class energy was released, bringing forth Grace Novamon. And it has been predicted that Grace Novamon itself has become a standalone galaxy. It is said to be impossible to measure its total data size accurately. Grace Novamon's tier is said to be at least at a 2A level, meaning that it is a Digimon beyond multiverse level with cosmic powers enabling it to create and destroy an infinite number of 4-dimensional universal space-time continuums. As a fusion of Dianamon and Apollomon, it can manipulate water, fire, darkness, ice, and can survive in all temperatures, including absolute zero. It can manipulate moonlight and use it to bewitch an illusion so that the opponent sees itself as its own enemy and immediately carves itself to pieces. With a simple thought, it can nullify the opponent's special abilities, rendering them inoffensive and completely vulnerable to Grace Novamon, a Digimon with an attack potency that is at least at multiverse level. Considering the rumors claiming that Grace Novamon has become a standalone galaxy, this makes me believe that the Digimon has the ability to manipulate space, may it be to bend it, flip it, or crush it, may it be to create force field, teleportation, or to create a pocket dimension or worse, to erase existence. Grace Novamon can overwrite its own data so that it is able to react to various situations that could be problematic for it, meaning that it has self-information manipulation abilities, enabling it to control, alter, and even destroy information itself. Its speed is immeasurable, its lifting strength is immeasurable, its stamina is extremely high, its durability is at least at a multiverse level, its range is at least galactic and has projectiles that does not stop until they reach the target, its intelligence, considering that it is a fusion between two Olympus 12 members, it should be as talented if not more when it comes to combat and battle strategies. A Digimon of that caliber is the reason why I left out certain fusions in the previous explaining Digimon episodes. I enjoy comparing the abilities and power level of Digimon, but I was merely waiting for the one Digimon that would be so powerful that I could use all other fusions and compare their strength to it. That way, it would be much easier for all of us to understand how powerful a Digimon can actually be, or even to better understand the gravity of certain events. Some of the angel Digimon that rebelled against their makers have fusions that are immensely powerful. The 7 Demon Lords, a team that has powers comparable to Digimon gods, can all fuse into one being. How powerful would that creature be? Grace Novamon will be used as a way to measure the strength of other fusions, and just in case, if you all remember the Machine Dramon video, I mentioned a Digimon called Millenniummon that I know I did not discuss thoroughly. The reason is simple. Millenniummon, or at least its other variants, displayed powers that are similar if not more powerful than Grace Novamon. That is why at some given point I will have to return to the previous videos to study their fusions. In Digimon Season 1 there is yet another Digimon, which I will not utter its name yet, that also displayed similar if not stronger capabilities than Grace Novamon. Clearly, some Digimon have powers similar to some Marvel characters. That is why I make these videos, to do them justice, as certain Digimon really are similar to certain Marvel cosmic level beings. This is the end of the video, my good friends. The series will get more and more interesting, so I have to ask you all to not forget to subscribe and to like the video. Also, please don't forget to leave a comment, because as you all witnessed, I use your comments to make the video. It is my way to really be in touch with you and to show you that I really care about your comments and that I really do read them and use them. And don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms like Instagram or Snapchat. And just in case you are new, all of my Digimon videos are sorted out in the Digimon playlist. It is a playlist that is always updated, that way you can catch up on newer and older videos. In fact, all of my videos that also have other subjects are placed in well-defined playlists, so it's going to be much easier for you to find your way in my channel. Just go and take a look.